In the complex world of Pakistani politics, talk of alliances is always in the air. One of the most talked about, yet perhaps most impossible, is a coalition between Jamaat-Islami and Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, or PTI on the surface. They both champion a corruption-free government and an Islamic welfare state. But when you dig a little deeper, you find a vast chasm of contradictions that makes a true partnership little more than a fantasy. Let's break down why this political dream is destined to remain just that, a dream. First, let's look at their very foundations. Jamaat-Islami, founded in 1941, is an ideological movement built on a systematic, scholarly interpretation of Islamic principles. Its structure is based on gradual reform and collective leadership through a shura. It's methodical and deeply rooted in religious scholarship. PTI, on the other hand, burst onto the scene in 1996 as a populist movement, centered almost entirely around the charismatic personality of Imran Khan. It's driven by populist sentiment, protests, politics, and emotional appeal, not a rigid intellectual framework. This fundamental clash in organized religious movement versus a personality-driven populist force creates an ideological distance that's almost impossible to bridge. Even their understanding of religion and politics is miles apart. Jamaat-Islami advocates for the systematic implementation of Sharia law, based on scholarly tradition and collective reasoning. For them, it's a detailed blueprint for the state. PTI, in contrast, uses religious slogans like Riyasati Madina more as a powerful political symbol. Its meaning is often left open to interpretation, designed to inspire popular support rather than to outline a specific legislative plan. For Jamaat, this can feel like a political exploitation of sacred ideals, whereas for PTI supporters, it's a rallying cry for a just society. This difference in approach to religion's role creates a fundamental discord. Then there's the leadership style. Jamaat-Islami operates on a structured, hierarchical system with a central council and an elected emir. Decisions are consultative and institutional. PTI, however, is synonymous with Imran Khan. He is the undisputed center of gravity, and major decisions ultimately rest with him. From the Jamaat's perspective, this looks like a democratic dictatorship, where individual will often override collective consultation. This stark contrast in organizational culture breeds a natural distrust and makes a shared strategy incredibly difficult to imagine. We don't have to just imagine it. We've seen a trial run. The 2013 to 2018 coalition government in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa was a real-world test of this alliance, and the results, they weren't promising. Jamaat-Islami ministers frequently voiced their disagreements with the PTI-led government on issues ranging from development funds to local government reforms. Leaders like Sirajul Haq openly expressed their dissatisfaction with the PTI's policies. For Jamaat-Islami, the experience was a hard lesson. Sharing power with PTI felt less like an ideological collaboration and more like being politically overshadowed. Their political temperaments are also polar opposites. Jamaat-Islami prides itself on a political style rooted in decency, reasoned arguments, and maintaining moral high ground. PTI's brand, especially in recent years, is built on confrontation, aggressive rhetoric, and media-driven narratives. While Jamaat leaders are typically careful with their words, many PTI figures have gained popularity through fiery speeches and personal attacks on opponents. For a party that values political ethics as much as Jamaat-Islami, this aggressive style is a major point of friction. Finally, let's consider their worldview and strategies. Jamaat-Islami has a consistent foreign policy narrative focused on Muslim unity and anti-imperialism. PTI's foreign policy under Imran Khan was more flexible, famously saying absolutely not to the US, while also navigating complex relationships with global powers. Moreover, Jamaat-Islami believes in gradual, evolutionary change through education and institutional reform. PTI's call for change is more of a revolutionary, emotionally charged slogan, which intensified after 2022 into a narrative of an imported government and foreign conspiracies. Jamaat-Islami is wary of any movement that could risk destabilizing the state. So, while both parties may appeal to a similar urban middle-class voter base, their core identities are fundamentally incompatible. Jamaat-Islami represents order, intellectual depth, and institutional process. PTI represents a populist, personality-driven, and emotionally charged movement. Any collaboration between them could only ever be a temporary, tactical move. A true, lasting ideological alliance that remains an impossible dream in Pakistan's political landscape. Thanks for watching. If you found this analysis insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of politics. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.